Hey guys, Mac here today with another new movie review. This is one of the many in my backlog of reviews to do. So the film we're going to be covering today is Once Upon a Deadpool, the most recent film to star Ryan Reynolds as Merc with a mouth. But before I start, be sure to subscribe to the channel, hit that little bell to be notified, and if you enjoy this video, be sure to hit the like button and comment below on content you'd like to see on the channel. So finally, getting back to the review. Once Upon a Deadpool sees the Merc with a mouth kidnapping Wonder Years actor Fred Savage, who he sees as the symbol of childhood innocence. And he starts recreating the iconic scene from The Princess Bride by retelling the events of Deadpool 2 for a PG-13, family-friendly audience. Now, for anyone who hasn't seen Deadpool 2 already, which, by the way, if you haven't already, go watch the super duper cut. I kind of try to censor myself there. I'm trying my best not to swear as much. You should already be pretty familiar with the story. If not, here's a quick summary. Certain people die, causing Deadpool to go on a self-discovery trip to realize who he is and to save a child with the help of a team of badasses while fighting a Winter Soldier Terminator to be declared the world's best lover. Nah, but in all seriousness though, the characters are still portrayed perfectly, with Ryan Reynolds superbly leading an incredible cast that includes Zazie Beetz and Josh Brolin, who played Domino, a mutant who utilizes luck to her advantage, and Cable, the time-traveling son of Cyclops, which isn't mentioned in the film, plus he's not as tall as he is in the comics. The usual suspects from the first film's cast also return. So you've got actors like Morena Baccarin, TJ Miller, Brianna Hildebrand, and I hope I'm pronouncing this right, Stefan Kapicic, to name a few, being joined by newcomers in the form of Deadpool's new mercenary team, X-Force. Members of this team include Bedlam, played by Terry Crews, Shatterstar, played by Louis Tan, Zeitgeist, played by Bill Skarsgård, Vanisher, who, let's just say, he's invisible for the most part, but when he does show his face, you'll definitely recognize him. I can't really say anything other than his surname rhymes with shit. And Peter, who's played by Rob Delaney, who didn't even have powers. Another amazing standout performer, though, in this movie is Julian Dennison, who portrays the troubled youth Russell, aka Fire Fist, whom Deadpool and Cable's missions revolve around. I found him to be incredibly witty, he has a fantastic screen presence to him, and the fact that he could hold his own against actors like Ryan Reynolds and Josh Brolin proves that this kid is going somewhere. The film also has its fair share of cameo appearances that help to add to the jokes and humour that Deadpool provides throughout. So much so that in this cut of the movie, Fred Savage even gets in on the fun. One thing I will praise about this particular cut of the movie though is the banter and the interactions between Fred Savage and Deadpool, such as the numerous jokes about how Savage thought Deadpool 1 was mediocre and that it isn't a real Marvel MCU movie, which leads Deadpool to make a joke about the Fox-Disney deal that's going on at the moment. These are the type of things you can only see in this cut of the movie. In addition, they also included a scene which was originally cut from the suicide montage that's in the extended cut. This deleted scene involves Deadpool trying to commit suicide on a park bench when an elderly couple comes along. And let's just say that things don't exactly go well for him, but he does reference a certain Disney Pixar movie. Which, to be fair, I still laugh just thinking about it at this point in time. With the film getting a PG-13 rating over in the States, it was still a 15 over here in the UK. They had to censor quite a bit out of this movie, and the way they altered it for a younger audience was superb. So, for example, the film completely censors the F word, and the way they do this is by having Deadpool holding a censor button, which he uses when really bad language is used. This was even used for like a joke as well with Fred Savage. And this to me screamed like something that Deadpool would do. And hell, I even said this to my friends well before this film came out, that should Deadpool ever get like a PG-13 rating or a 12 or something like that over here, it would be really funny if they did it with his fourth wall breaking in mind and had him, censoring himself or, wondering why he's getting censored. The other way to censor the movie, though, is by getting rid of all the intense blood and gore, which, while I'm used to the Deadpool character being associated with intense blood and gore, I can see why they've done it. And honestly, it does show that the character could work should he cross over with, say, the Avengers, or Spider-Man, or even other X-Men in future as well. As with the regular version as well, the soundtrack is fantastic. Mainly, like I said, because it uses the music from the regular version of the film. The tracks, it's got tracks from amazing artists. It's got Celine Dion, AC/DC, Aha, and there's more being used throughout, all with tremendous effect to the scenes where they are played. One of the few issues I will say I have with this was that because of the way they staged the story this time around, they didn't have the amazing James Bond-esque opening that the other versions had. The special effects in the film were good, though, with characters such as Colossus and, well, another well-known X-Men character being used to tremendous effect through CGI. Finally, this is where I am going to be topping it off. The thing that got me really curious with this cut of the movie was whether or not they were going to include the attempted assassination of baby Hitler. 2 seconds. So yeah, like I said, I was very curious if they were going to include the baby Hitler scene. It was definitely featured in the extended cut, and so the sick bastard in me, sorry I swore there, but I had to say it, the sick bastard in me, and the rest of the audience as well, who were surprisingly sick in the head as well, decided to sit back till the very end to see if this scene would play. And we were actually extremely surprised by the actual post-credit scene that played. So, before I continue, because I'm about to enter into spoiler territory, I'll just say right now that my score that I'm giving Once Upon a Deadpool is 3.5 stars. And I'll go into more details shortly, but before that, I'm giving you this warning now. I'm about to go into spoiler territory, very briefly, so if you don't want to listen to this, be sure to mute the video or come back when you've seen the movie. Okay, so that should be enough time to let anyone leave. Okay, so at the end of the film, we have one more quick sketch between Deadpool and Fred Savage. But then to mine and the audience's surprise, it showed the scene from the very first Deadpool 2 trailer, with Stan Lee commenting on Deadpool's outfit. And then it was a series of outtakes of Stan Lee referencing Green Lantern and Ryan Gosling. It then showed a very touching interview with Stan where he was talking about how when he started creating the characters that we all know and love to this day, he only done it so he could pay his bills and to keep the lights on. But over the years, he's seen how much the characters have grown and how much it means to people, means to the fans, how much he loved the fans. He then ends it by saying that when he's gone, he wouldn't be too bothered about what people think of him. Because he's gone, there's nothing he can do about it. But he hopes that people would at least remember his stories, remember his characters, and just remember that he loved his fans. And it then shows his autograph with a subtle in-memory credit. And this to me made me tear up in the cinema because it showed that Stan was extremely passionate about his work. And some of the things he said in his interview showed he really did love his fans, which is one of the many reasons I'll always respect Stan Lee. So, before I finish up, I want to say that to the team behind Once Upon a Deadpool, I have so much respect for you all for honouring this icon. Overall though, the reason I give this a 3.5 stars is that while it does work in showing how Deadpool could operate in a PG-13 environment, it still just doesn't feel right to the character to take away the extreme violence. All of the fourth wall breaking and censorship was hilarious. By the way, guys, sorry if you hear a noise. My dog's just having a bit of a crazy fit at the moment. Okay, now that that's over. In addition, I do feel like one of its biggest issues is that aside from the Fred Savage footage, the one scene in the suicide montage, and the Stan Lee tribute, there's no real reason for anyone who's already seen Deadpool 2 or the subsequent and better Super Duper cut to really watch this version of the movie. All in all, I respect that they tried it, and I hope they continue to keep Deadpool going as strong as it is. But that's all I can really say on the movie at this point. So thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this review, be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that little bell to be notified of incoming content, and be sure to comment down below to let me know of any content you'd like to see me cover. Or, if you have seen this movie, let me know your thoughts. I want to hear your thoughts on this one. Until next time, guys.